Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in today. As always, glad that we're here together. And today we're handling some town business. Yes, indeed. If you're from the Bay, if you're from Oakland, you know that Oakland is the town. Yes, and of course, San Francisco is the city. Oakland is the town. So town business in the house today. And we are reading a wonderful book indeed. This one is called Oakland Bird. Yes, this is the second book in the series of the Kids Love Oakland series. And this one is by Kamaria Lofton and illustrations by Stephen Anderson. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Happy we are here together. Excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining in as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month. Thank you so much for joining in, and all the amazing women out there. Thank you for everything that you do, indeed, for being amazing and awesome in every which way. Thank you so much for joining us, and glad you're here indeed with us on Story Time. Thank you. All you little ones joining us, welcome to Story Time. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. I hope you're ready for some town business today out here in Oakland. As you can see my shirt too, those are the cranes of the Port of Oakland. Yes, indeed, representing the town today. Thank you so much for joining in. What is your city pride? Thank you for letting us know. Let us know, and let us know where you are. And indeed, out here in Oakland today, the sun is shining, but it will be warmer later. But for now, it is still a little bit chilly. It is around 42 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're looking at it being around 64 not too long from now. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you're here with me. Of course, lots of things happening, like I've mentioned, with Story Time. And one of those events coming up this week is this one. Please do join us if you're here in the Bay. Indeed, join us for this one. All proceeds from this event go out to La Clinica in Fruitville, La Clinica de la Raza in Fruitville, right here in Oakland, in East Oakland, and everything will be donated to them. And if there are any extra books that we collect as well that are not picked up by the families that will come to the event, those will go to La Clinica as well. So please join in that event, or indeed share the word, spread the word. If your friends in the Bay, let them come and join us. We will be live in person at Rose's Tap Room. Thank you so much for joining us in Temescal, not too far from where I am right now. And of course, this event is coming up too. I will be taking part in the Ride for a Reason 2022. Yes, we are back again on the bike, and we'll be riding from Oakland to Sacramento. So please spread the word, share the word, see how you can donate on that link below, or indeed if you go to our Instagram or the website storytimewithmrlimada.com, and you will find where you can donate or indeed share with others so that we can get this underway. My goal for this year is to raise at least $5,000 for public education. So working hard on that, and please support me. Please join me in that. Share with everybody that you know, or indeed donate if you can. Thank you so much. Or indeed do both. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Lots happening, and I am excited. Thank you for being here. Please let us know who is with us today and where you are joining in from. Yes, let us see who's first today. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Nathan and Sarah, and a napping Indy in sunny Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in, Indy. Always a pleasure having you here too. And of course, Sarah and Nathan, thank you. Absolutely appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you're ready to learn a little bit about Oakland, the city that we call the town, the city, the founding city of the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Thank you so much for joining in. Lots of history in Oakland, lots of culture, this beautiful, beautiful city that we call home. Thank you so much for joining in. Betty Deshay, Kiki, how are you doing today? Indeed, joining us from Oakland. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? I hope you're ready for another minimum day at school. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you. Kennedy, Kapolyo Kampamba, how are you doing, my brother, out in Turkey? Thank you so much for joining in. It is a good evening out there, so thank you so much for joining in. Welcome to Storytime. Glad you're here with us. I hope you're ready for a wonderful book indeed, learning about our beautiful city of Oakland. Oakland Bird, Kids Love Oakland Series, Book 2. This one coming to you from Kamaria Lofton and illustrations by Stephen Anderson. A beautiful one indeed. I can't wait to share. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Good morning to you, Amanda Wortman. Hugs. Baby Bia, how are you doing in sunny Seattle? Well, enjoy it indeed. Sunny Seattle today. Thank you so much for joining in. Blue skies already. Well, enjoy it. It sounds amazing. It sounds beautiful. Sunny in Illinois, sunny in Seattle, sunny out here in Oakland. How about where you are? How is it today? Thank you so much for joining in. More townspeople joining us. Good morning to you. Timothy Dixon, the softbox salute. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, Rowan, good morning to you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Hope you and your dad can join us for this beautiful event. Would ride for a reason. Please do join us. We will be going to Sacramento, so I hope you can join in. Indeed, some of you may know that Tim here is my riding partner. Thank you so much, Tim. And of course, they did the song that is playing in the background right here, the theme song to Storytime. Thank you so much. Good morning to you, Tim. Good morning to you, Rowan. And of course, good morning to you, Laura, as well. Hopefully you can hear us. Thank you for joining us on Storytime. Good morning to you. Oh, good to know. Thank you for sharing. Betty and Rikia, you say my grandfather used to work for the Port of Oakland for 36 years before he retired. Oh my goodness. There is Oakland right there. Oakland history, Oakland pride, Oakland power. Thank you so much for joining in. Please get comfortable, get ready as we get started with our story. After a short break, we'll be back. Please get comfortable, get cozy. I know Indy is already cozy out there. Join in the fun. Let us read a little bit about our city. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, if you have recommendations for books about your city, your part of town, please do share them, and we will try our best to bring them here to Storytime, permissions allowing. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm glad you're here, ready to learn about this wonderful city that we call home indeed. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you in Katete, Zambia. Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar, I will be calling you. I promise I will call. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, good evening out there to everybody at home, the family. Melody, thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. All right, we're going to be back after this little break, and we're going to continue on with our story. Thank you for being here today. All right, here we go.
I'm Meenal Patel, and I am an artist, designer, and the author and illustrator of Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Minal Patel. As you know, Minal is the author and illustrator of Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, a beautiful book indeed. Books that represent, books that indeed celebrate culture. Thank you so much for joining in. Here we go. This one coming to you from Kamaria Lofton and illustrations by Stephen Anderson. And of course, we've had Kamaria Lofton here on Storytime, so please do check out her books and check out the entire series. There are 4 right now in the series, so go out there and find them. And of course, you can also check out our interview when she was here on Storytime. Here we go. Kids Love Oakland series, book 2, Oakland Bird. Kamaria Lofton, Stephen Anderson. I pledge allegiance to my city, to keep Oakland nice and pretty. Toss my trash, recycle, compost, make my city shine and sparkle. I think everybody should be saying that for your city, shouldn't we? And that is the Oakland Bird pledge. Oh, I love it. Thank you, everybody. Here we go with our story today, coming to you from Kamaria Lofton, illustrations by Stephen Anderson, and this one is called Oakland Bird, and of course, read with permission of Kamaria Lofton and the Like the Moon Press. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Kiki, I can hear you shouting out, yes, but Oakland Bird walking down the street. But for those of you that are not from Oakland, you haven't been yet, that is the Bay Area Rapid Transit. It is our trains. Not as reliable as I would like them to be, but they're ours. They're here. Oakland Bird walking down the street. Oh. And watch out for all these messages that Kamaria included in here too. Yes, cleaning is fundamental. It is. What else is Bird up to? Respect the town, of course. Oakland Bird flying above me. Watch out. Oakland Bird flying above me. I've actually had a bird poop on me before. Oakland Bird cooing with your friends. Oh. And you know, too, there it says, I hecka love Oakland. And you know, hecka is a very Bay Area word, a very Oakland word indeed. Oh, yes. And the Fox Theater. Oakland Bird racing for the bread. There's our area code. Yep, 510. Oakland Bird racing for the bread. And what's the message on this one? Stash your trash. Yes, put trash in the right place. Oakland Bird running from the kids. Please, kids, leave the birds alone. Love a bird today. Oakland Bird running away from the kids. Oakland Bird spying once again. And you see the cranes? They're the cranes, the Port of Oakland. Yay. And also, well, we can talk about that later on, maybe right now. So rumor has it too that those inspired George Lucas for some of the things that you see in Star Wars. Oakland Bird taking over the park. Oh no. Cover your food. Oakland Bird is around. And of course, we want to respect nature, don't we? Oakland Bird, where do you go when it is dark? Have you ever wondered, where do the birds of your city go when it is dark? Something to think about. Oh. Oakland bird bathing in the lake. Oh. Oh, yes. Beware of the Lake Merritt monster. Oakland bird bathing in the lake. Oh no. Oakland bird eating someone's cake. No. Sorry. Oakland bird, that is not good. No. Oh. Oakland bird performing with your flock. Oh, yes, indeed. And of course, the historic Grand Lake Theater, Oakland bird performing with your flock. The last movie I saw at the Grand Lake Theater was actually Black Panther. So maybe I'll go back when the new Black Panther is out. Oakland bird performing with your flock. Oh, birds protected by law. Oakland bird, for you I will always watch. Yes, indeed, for you I will always watch. And that is the end. And of course, some fun Oakland facts in the back there. Of course, that first picture on page 6 that you saw with BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit, it says, Oakland is filled with wonderful, unique bookstores. Laura Bookstore in the background is located in downtown Oakland. I know it's a little bit small, but right there. And then page 8, both author and illustrator attended Patton Academy in East Oakland. The decorative crosswalks in the Fruitvale and other districts make public spaces more attractive, which is one of the goals of Oakland's pedestrian master plan. And there's so much more too back there that we can share about our wonderful city. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you enjoyed that one. This is called Oakland Bird. And what else do we have too on here? Yes, the sweaters that we saw on this page. Let me just go back to it and I can show you. These sweaters that you see on this page that the kids are wearing, those are Peruvian sweaters, Peruvian designed sweaters. And it says about them here, Peruvian handmade wool sweaters are a favorite among young people in Oakland. It is indeed. I see them all over the place. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And I hope that maybe one day you will visit Oakland. And of course, do give me a shout. Let me know you're here. So indeed, we can show you around this beautiful city. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love it. And of course, appreciations to Kamaria Lofton for sharing this wonderful book with us, Oakland Bird, book 2 in the series. And of course, you know, our city is Oakland. And of course, there's so many more that she's preparing for us and created 4 in all. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad you are here. Please do join me tomorrow. As you know, we will be riding to Sacramento. So this time around, each week we'll be trying to have a book that is about bikes and riding. And of course, tomorrow we're bringing back this one, If You Give a Girl a Bike. So do join me for this one, written by Haley Dieppe and illustrations by Braden Hallett. So join me for this one. I can't wait to share with you all. And of course, if you remember it, at that time, Haley Dieppe did join us here on Storytime. Great conversation and of course, amazing book indeed. Join in and find out what these 3 young girls in this book are up to, apart from riding their bikes. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for joining in for Town Business today. Thank you indeed. Oakland, oh my goodness. It is a union town and we're proud of it. Thank you so much for joining us and I hope that you are well. I hope that you have a wonderful day indeed. Please do not forget the events that are coming up. If you're nearby in the Bay, do join us. us at Rose's Tap Room for a reading and, of course, storytelling and many more things, sharing books, and of course meeting other people there too. So do join in and have some fun. Everybody is welcome. And of course too, remember that we are riding to Sacramento, so please share or donate indeed to this ride. Help me raise the goal that is set, and this time we're set $5,000. We are working on it, and with your help, I know we'll get there. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Have yourselves a wonderful day indeed. It is always a pleasure to be here. This is not something I take for granted. I absolutely appreciate the time that we spend together here. And of course, you make Storytime what it is. Thank you so much for being here. And one more time, thank you so much, Amanda, for joining in. Absolutely appreciate it. That was a fun way to learn more about Oakland. I am glad. Please, if you have any books and you want to teach us a little bit about Seattle, let us know and we will get our hands on it and work to bring that to Storytime. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I hope that you have as much pride and love for your part of town as I do for Oakland. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, as you know, some of you, I lived in Baltimore before, so that was indeed my first love here in the U.S. And of course, Lusaka, not forgetting you out there, my hometown. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for joining in. Everybody in Lusaka, Zambia, greetings to you, and indeed sending you that Zambian warmth. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Please remember to check in on your loved ones, check in on your neighbors, check in on your friends, and see how they are doing. A simple hello could go a long way. Thank you so much for being here. Much love from me. I'll see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Join in as we bring back If You Give a Girl a Bike. Thank you so much for joining us. Much love. Bye-bye.
That I look and think, read me all of the stories. Read me all of the stories. Some stories from far away.
Oh, Olaolu, I had to come back for you. Olaolu. Good morning. How are you doing? CP time, Olaolu. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you are here. Much love, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lumada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be